title right
I'm gonna just start pouring from glass to
now.
glass.
No. Oh, Riley is calling me. Why? Shut your pipe.
Waterfall. We stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
I got the box.
You got the box. Hi, Linda. We'll start as soon as all the men empty their bladder.
No worries. I'm just popping in for a few minutes, and I need therapy after this week at school.
Oh.
It's bad. I should have retired.
Oh no. You look beautiful.
Oh, no. Thank you, though. No, after you and I met, right after you and I met, I got the message from school that I have to do 100 students in person. So I teach all day. And then I have 45 students when I get home in the evening virtually that I have to take care of.
Linda,
And my principal was like, oh, but you're going to get a stipend. I was like, well, that's going to be my wine and vodka stipend. And I should have retired. Rodney, you know, like we should have retired. Why didn't I retire? I don't know. But I am seeing my financial advisor this week because this is going to be it. I can't. It's insane.
I'm so far from that 80 calculation that.
No, I'm there, baby. And but I'm super codependent. So I went and told my principal, I was like, I cannot do this. I cannot teach 150 students and teach all day and then come home and teach more at night. And she was like, please don't leave me high and dry. So I was like, okay. It's like, no, I'm gonna do it one more year.
I've got a new subject this year. So on top of
fun.
Online.
Yeah,
and,
it's just all so fun. So this is my therapy. So I'm gonna be quiet now, maybe, but.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, sweeties. Chris, it's so good to see. It's so good to see. Oh, Michelle, it's so good to see. Oh, look at Beth. Mike is just a name. Okay.
What's up,
yes,
Baconator?
Chris. Okay, first season of Glee, I would not watch it because it sounded so stupid. And that's when Stacy and I were still teaching together at the junior high. And every day we'd come and sit and eat lunch together. And she'd go, Linda, you need to watch Glee. And I go, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. The minute I started watching, well, Michelle knows, Deborah knows, the people here know. The minute I started watching Glee, I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And we used to come over here to our house.
I was going to say, we used to watch it at your house.
And we watch Glee together. And Mark would come and stand in the hallway and judge us. He would put in Mark Bendixson would put in his guest appearance. He would stand in the hallway going, especially the night they did the Billy Joel song. And he was like, and we'd all go, bye, go away. It also formed much of Evan's youth. And he's very grateful for that. He still calls them his gunkles. All of his gunkles would come over and watch Glee with him.
All right, Dana, go ahead and kick us off.
All right, Dana, go.
Oh, yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh,
Make
God.
sure you play the right one.
Yeah. Yeah. So those of you that were watching the show saw the intro for the outro also because I'm an idiot.
And
God, I can't believe that. All right, here we go. Opening.
I want a refund.
Sakataka.
Fill your glasses up and sit your asses down. Coming to you live from their living rooms to yours, it's time for Dad After Dark.
Welcome, everybody, to Dad's After Dark. We have a very special guest following us from our show, Christopher Rogers. Thank you again for the show. It was fantastic. Oh, my goodness. We have a full house already. Catherine, Linda, Michelle, Campbell Green, Beth, Cynthia. What? Well, I shouldn't have said her name.
Yep. She's
I'm here.
she's going into hiding.
Oh, and we have a very special guest, Mike, for Dad's After Dark, at least for 15 minutes.
Ooh. Come here, Coco.
His video's frozen, so he may not be there.
Yeah, he's probably not there.
He was
Is he ever
walking
here?
somewhere.
This is his shady time. when
If
he
you didn't
goes in.
watch, if you're just tuning in, if you didn't watch the episode, please circle back and watch the episode.
You got there.
Because I got there somehow. Man, I'm a little. Whew. All right, move along. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Obviously.
Shocker. So, if you didn't watch the episode, I'm in San Antonio because tomorrow I get to go see Mary Otto.
I'm so jealous.
She's straight up going on a couple's vacation, and guess who's crashing?
Yay, crash it.
Yeah, so I get to go see Mary tomorrow, which means I came to see my parents today. But Cynthia is here.
It was.
Well, she's here. No, here's.
Oh, there she is. Why is she bouncing? She goes in and she goes out.
Sorry.
Wow.
So we were talking ghost stories. We were talking theater ghost stories at the end of the episode. Because Chris had an incident during Rock of Ages, but Cynthia has a really good story that I didn't want to tell it because, so go for it.
So Henry, gosh, this is like 3 years ago. He's 12 now. So he was 8 or 9. It was Sweeney Todd. It was the day Randy passed away. And it was actually the perfect place for Henry to be. He grew up in the theater. Randy was like a grandparent to him. And so this was his first experience with death. And everyone kind of gathered, if you remember, after the show, the evening performance that Saturday night, everyone gathered in the lobby. No one was in the theater. And I all of a sudden realized I hadn't seen Henry forever. And he's sitting next to, not the seat Randy used to sit in. He's sitting in a seat over. So there's Randy's seat, an empty seat, and then there's Henry. And I go in there and I see Henry and he's sitting there and I call him because it's not like him to be in the theater. I mean, well, it is like him to be in the theater, but it was just weird. We were all in the lobby and he was in the theater and he's walking up the hallway and he said, "Oh, I was just saying goodbye to Randy's parents." That old lady and that old woman sitting right there. And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Well, Randy's parents came to watch the last show with him." And he just said it so matter-of-factly, like it wasn't anything scary to him. It was just matter-of-fact. I said, "Did you see Randy?" And he said, "No, he left. But his parents were here. They're making sure that he gets home." And it was just like, it was a gift. Like normally I would be terrified of something like that, but it was such a gift. And it's just proven to me, like, and Adrian, you're at the theater a lot by yourself. Like, I totally believe in theater ghosts. And even as early as the next day, Henry didn't remember that at all. Like, I talked to him about it and I had this conversation with him and he did not remember it. But that night it was just matter of fact, like, oh, did you see that man and that woman? He's like, they were Randy's parents. And like, I don't know, we talked about it that night. Remember, Adrian, you, me, and Katie, and I can't remember who else, but we were out there.
Jessica Lemons was there. Jessica Lemons was there because she's the one that brought the wine and the cheese and crackers. And I think it was the four of us that were sitting on the runway talking about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was my first experience. And so, yeah, I totally believe in theater ghosts. So.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting to cry. I'm very mad for hearing this story right now. I'm just like very upset about it.
But isn't that just so beautiful that they came and Henry wasn't in the chair next to Randy? That was for his mom. And like, they came and watched that last show and came and got Randy that last show. And I thought that was just so beautiful, like just beautiful. So.
Well, did you know Randy was on stage?
What?
Right next to Roger. Randy was on stage right next to Roger, man.
Yeah. You're not the only person who saw that, Beth. But the cherry on top is that Dana is obviously not sleeping tonight. Somebody's scared.
You know, Randy's like, he was influential even beyond the theater. So, and I've told this story, not everybody in the room knows, but I used to work at NRG right next door to the theater company. And I had several conversations with Randy and talked about how my, history of being on stage and performing, but music and guitar and singing. And he's like, we've got some shows, you need to, whatever. And audition. And we talked several times because I was a smoker. I'm a vapor now, but I was a smoker then, and he was obviously a smoker. And we would talk for like, I'd get in trouble for spending 30 minutes outside with Randy. He's just so easy to talk to. And yeah, I mean, I remember, I think I made a Facebook post of just generally about missing theater and stuff, and took a picture of the empty stage back in like April or May. And, that freaking ghost light is on. And all I could think about really was not just the memories, but I really had a big focus on Randy and how important those conversations were to get me to go ahead and agree to be in the quartet for My Fair Lady. I didn't have to ask that time what the show was. And I know that, the majority of you folks knew him really well, and I didn't. And I'm sad that I didn't take advantage of it when those opportunities came initially. However, I don't know that I'd appreciate in the same way, the way I do now because of when I joined, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, man, that's some good crap, man. But yes, I will not sleep tonight at all. I'll be...
Hey, Mike, name 5 ensemble members from My Fair Lady.
That's so mean.
That was
Catherine Morgan.
No, Catherine Morgan
Not in the show.
was not even on stage on that show.
This is my favorite game.
It's the best. This makes me
Wow.
so happy. I need this. Keep going.
Then-
Yeah.
I was there, but I was not an ensemble member. So like,
Oh,
half credit.
man. This is terrible. Rodney Bettis.
Oh, glad. Thanks for noticing me.
Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh, shoot.
You
Yeah.
got this, Mike. You can do it.
I love it.
In the show, and I can name 5 ensemble members.
Hannah Shadanian.
No, she was the queen.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
but
not
yes.
an ensemble.
Yeah,
I
but
knew
she's
that.
that's
The
on.
ensemble for
That's fair.
everything else.
Partial credit. We're going to give them partial credit.
That's two.
Not Paul Early, but
Correct.
God.
That wasn't the question, Mike.
there they are.
Is that Nolan? Hi, Nolan.
Sorry, guys.
We have a very very
Casey,
special
Gilbert,
family
and
guest.
Nolan. Oh my God. Okay.
Guys.
So
That bought you some time, Mike. Keep going, Mike.
yeah,
Oh
I'll
my
let you
gosh.
think about it for a while. You have 3 more,
Hi,
Mike.
Casey too.
And I'm not going to forget about it.
Just
Cool.
help them out. This hurts.
Oh, I know. I love it, Michelle. I do this every week. Okay, so Nolan, I was talking about you today because Casey, I was talking to my parents about the whole Gone for Good, Gone for Food saga. And how the second time we were in Disney was when we were about to go on the cruise where Nolan was one of the vocal performers.
Bye.
Gave me vocal damage.
Wait, what? Nolan?
Oh yeah, so Diva Dad, say hi to
Disney-
Nolan.
Hello. Disney
Dad,
cruise,
please
like,
watch me.
was it a Disney cruise and you were a performer?
No, I was on Carnival Cruise Lines and a performer on Carnival. But these girls went to Disney before and then they signed on to the ship to come see me.
Gotcha.
Drink in the Bahamas for 3 days, basically.
And because he was a performer, he was basically our designated tour guide the whole time.
That's fabulous.
Lucky me. No, it was great. It was like a vacation after 7 months of the same thing every week.
My dad is now also gaslighting Kate Mitchell and saying it was Gone for Food.
Thanks for being on our team.
Where is Kate Mitchell?
I don't know. I texted her. She was watching earlier. She was watching earlier.
Yeah, she got mad because she doesn't know what Co-11 is.
Uh-oh. Chris, anything you want to say about that?
No comment.
No comment.
No, I don't remember because I've had too much whiskey, but what were we saying that, why are you shaking your head? What is it that we were saying that we could carry over to Dad's After Dark? It was a story about something.
It was Katie Mitchell talking about the geology lesson that I gave her thanks to Disney World.
However, she's not here.
Yet.
I'm not holding my breath.
She'll be here about 4.5 hours late.
Yeah.
Michelle, are you back in school now?
No, I'm still in professional development, but Deborah started on Wednesday.
Thursday.
We started on Thursday. It's been a wild week because we're going fully virtual.
Oh,
And
God.
there are like the technology.
Okay, no, side note. She's not going fully virtual. She's
that's
fully,
true.
fully
I'm at
virtual
work.
until September 8th, and she's there in person. I'm also virtual until September 8th, but I'm
there in
also
person.
at school in person. So, like, it's not like we're virtual for the year. Just needed to.
Oh yeah,
Please
good point.
continue.
No, that's
I'm
important.
sorry.
But so everyone's virtual. It's new that now middle schoolers are 1-to-1 with laptops, so they're getting laptops for their very first time.
MacBook Airs.
MacBook Airs. Very
Wow.
exciting. What?
It's McKinney, you
It's
know.
McKinney. What?
That's some money there, yo.
But yeah, but definitely me and the other librarian are like the two people available to help with technology issues, like at the beginning of the school year. And with everyone getting computers and everyone being on Zoom and everyone doing everything, it's just like constant. It's been wild. I'm gonna be going to bed soon.
Yeah, she probably won't make it through all the After Dark because, like,
That's okay. None of us ever.
But it's been good.
yeah, she ran around like crazy today, and I was like plugging stuff in on Canvas and like calling parents to ask about Wi-Fi connectability. And
Oh,
it was
no.
very chill day for me, but she was very busy.
Yeah, but it's good.
Oh, God. Jennifer, how did you come to decide on this week's fun fact?
It's one of those that I had found
Of course,
facts.
her audio cut out.
Oh, did? Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. It was one
Your
of the
cat is
earliest
dead
ones.
behind you.
Dead asleep. Dead asleep. Oh my
Hey, Parker.
Parker, how's that college fun going, bud?
Well, so far he doesn't have anything yet tonight. We'll see.
Better start cursing, Dana.
I need the Venmo, PayPal, or whatever link because I owe.
You owe $1 from last week, David. I guess we should set a PayPal up or set up a Venmo just for Diva.
There you go.
I
Yeah,
think
but
I'm-
Adrian, you
Go
didn't
ahead.
tell me that there was going to be a fact checker on tonight's episode that was going to call me out if I got it wrong.
But you were right.
it's just, I like that fact a lot. I think it's one of those, you read it and you have that moment of like, that can't be right. And then you kind of think about it like, it makes sense, but why? Like,
I think you were inspired to do it from all the hype about Mike Tyson fighting the shark. That's what led you to do it.
Gross.
Sure. Now I have to devote some time this weekend to go looking into more fun facts. I'm starting to deplete my reserves.
Yes, I don't think anyone thought we'd be in episode 15 at this point.
Oh, you're such a Debbie Downer.
Seriously, you should go out in the
It's been
sun.
15 weeks without theater.
What?
This is our theater, Beth.
I know. That's why I'm here.
I think I told the story last week that I kept getting this
Probably.
Snapchat from a Baconator. And I was like, who the hell is Bacon? I was like, who is this? And I was like, oh, gotcha. Sorry. I'm an idiot. But I'm sure you were watching, so you heard me give you the Baconator shout out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cynthia, how was your first week at school?
I am teaching in person and online at the same time. So I have like 20 kids in their rooms on computers. And then I have kids in class. There aren't as many in class, but the hard thing is these kids, I've been reading a lot like that they've gone through trauma, and they really have.
Yeah.
They're different. First of all, they're wearing masks, but the ones in person are very muted. They're not as outgoing. The light is just kind of gone in their eyes. So it's going to take a lot to get them back where they were. Hopefully, like we can get there. And then the ones online, it's a real gambit trying to keep both engaged and interacting. Today went a lot better than yesterday, but it's just, they're different people now. They've been through a lot. I mean, it's a different world. And so as teachers, all I've been doing these first 2 days is building those relationships back up. So
that's pretty profound.
So it's so you're doing synchronous online, and
it's exhausting.
I'm happy that we're doing
simulcast.
asynchronous.
That's what we're doing. You're not doing that?
Wait, are you doing synchronous the whole day?
The whole day.
No.
Yeah, I thought you guys were doing that too. That's
No,
what the
so
McKinney's
when
doing.
we go back, we're doing, so we're on a block schedule. So most of our classes are an hour and a half. So it looks like, okay, don't quote me. I know it's live, but like things change. So like this is not official my district policy. I feel like I need a blanket statement. But right now it looks like the first 30 minutes will be synchronous. And then we're going to have a breakout for the last 45-ish minutes that are like the kids that are in class will work, and I'll like go around and help them. And then the kids that are at home will just work on whatever it is they're working on at home. So like I'll have 30 minutes out of an hour and a half synchronous for every class.
Yeah, I teach middle school like 45 minutes, and then I have 2 high school classes that are an hour and a half, and it's synchronous the whole time. And so it's just like, it's going to be such a learning curve all year.
You guys say hi to Papa Green. He's calling in on FaceTime.
Hello.
I'm gonna go take this, and I'll be back to talk about school things.
Slide over there, Deborah.
Get the pole. Where's the pole?
Take
Oh, I
over
need the pole.
I don't know what it is about Deborah, but I just laugh constantly. This girl is so
big smile.
freaking hilarious.
And you've never seen her on stage, Dana.
I've never met her personally, ever.
She's
This is-
amazing.
He's amazing. Yeah.
My dad, actually, Deborah we were talking about spelling bee today, since Chris was the guest, and you were the first person he mentioned.
Oh, yay! That's so special to me.
Yeah, that was fun. You and Chris. And Roger. That seemed that those 3 stood out for me.
Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
Word, Deborah.
Were Deborah and I the only ones that had a weird voice? Did anybody else have a weird voice?
Yeah, I was my obnoxious self. So
yeah,
that's why I didn't stand up.
Yeah, Sarah was normal. Cameron was his. I feel like his voice was still.
No, Cameron. Well, Cameron's was more the visual. With Cameron, it's always visual. He's just so powerful visually. Like that opening scene in Drowsy where he's in the chair and you haven't seen anything. Nothing's happened. And you see Cammy Pants in the chair and you just fall out because you're like, oh my God, like he doesn't have to talk.
In the chair? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So are you joking about not remembering that I was in it?
Yes.
Okay. Checking. But I was a standout. Look at all those people. Wow. Yeah, I'd say hi to Kelsey and Camilla.
Hey, Taylor.
Goodness gracious.
Taylor.
Who
There's
all is
my
there?
girl.
Taylor.
There's my
Socially
little
distant.
girl.
I missed it. Who's there?
Taylor.
Me and Camilla and Kelsey.
Oh, good,
Camilla.
Camilla.
Kelsey. Kelsey. Look at all you beautiful kids.
Yes, it is us, beautiful kids.
How are
Wait,
you guys?
Are you guys at Taylor's?
No, we're at Camilla's.
Hence the dogs.
There's
One
dog-
dog.
oh.
There they are.
Lori.
Oh, puppers. Cute, cute.
Taylor, what's it like having other Taylor in the house now?
It's good. He is a really rough sleeper, so that's a lot of fun.
My dad's here. Just
sorry, no, just like in general, like he's very violent when he sleeps, so that's like I don't know. I'm not explaining this right. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Everything's great. Why wouldn't it
I have
be great?
no idea what just transpired. But
Oh, Taylor.
What
I'm
happened
glad
is
this is
I just
recorded and I can
malfunctioned
go
fully.
Taylor was being Taylor.
Chris has his kitty. This is Ollie, yes.
Oh God, no.
Hi, Ollie.
Chadwick, if I tried to hold Chadwick, would have scratched my whole face by now.
Aw.
Oh, and there's Peanut. Wait, which one do you have, Beth? Is that Simba?
Oh my gosh. Look at all the cats. And the dogs.
All of mine have deserted me.
This is Darcy.
Hey, Darcy.
Baby.
Is it D apostrophe ARCY or is it
No,
D
it's not D, comma to the top. It's just Darcy.
Comma to the top.
Darcy, like Terrence Trent D'Arby.
As in Mr., but she's a miss.
Okay.
Let her live her life.
Nina, you're drunk.
Writer.
Who just said that?
Camilla.
Actually, no. I'm
Dogs.
okay. Maybe there's like a third of the bottle gone. I cracked this open during the pre-show. It's only a third gone. Come on.
Taylor, I have a question for Taylor.
Taylor.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right, Taylor. So, do you remember who was the gal that worked on Hairspray? She was a Consol student. I think of her name. She's black.
Noelle.
What?
Noelle.
Oh yeah, Noelle.
Noelle. Okay.
Chicken tenders does not equal respect.
Do you remember that day that Nick Borski was building stuff? And I've always called Nick Knickers. Do you remember that? Because you were there. And we were all backstage and I kept going, hey, Knickers. And she stopped and she went over to Brian and Mom. She's like, I don't know who that lady is, but I feel really offended right now. And why is she calling everybody that word? And they're like, what are you talking about? And they were pointing at me. She's like, Linda wouldn't be saying that word. And they were like, oh, she's saying Knicker. She's talking to Nick Borski. And I was like, okay, I need to be more careful about things I say. Do you remember that, Taylor?
I do remember that.
It was, yeah.
Because
when Chris was talking about Hairspray, I was like, I have so many Hairspray memories.
Okay.
I too have many. 2468 TV's got to integrate.
Woo, what a time to be alive.
Seeing protest signs at 2 a.m. and you've been there since 8 a.m. and there's no air conditioning and you run out of room, you just have to put GR8 and it's just the funniest thing that you've ever seen in your entire
I will just never forget that audition when there was a young white blonde girl when we were doing the cut from the Corny Collins kids as the dance audition. The cut that we did was right after the kids said, and once a month we have Negro Day. And that was in the song, but wasn't part of our cut. But this little blonde white girl would say it with this just extreme enthusiasm every time. Does anyone else remember this?
Yes.
I love Katie though.
It wasn't Katie. Because this girl didn't get cast in the show, but she said it with this like enthusiasm and this intensity. And Dee Dee Smith, who did get in the show, who is Black, kept looking at her, going like, "What? Why are you saying this over and over and over again?" I just remember the look that Dee Dee kept sending Natalie of like, "If you say that one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind."
Beautifulness. I love Dee Dee.
She's like buff now. She has like her own workout company.
I know. Yeah, she's amazing. So how's everyone else?
We're doing okay. Taylor and I had a hot mess of sushi tonight, and we just watched the kids this time.
We had yummy.
Oh, I love
There's a shocker.
I have still never been there. You guys just talked about this the other night. I've never
Where
been.
do you eat? Where do you eat, Dana? You haven't been to Fuego. You haven't been to Yummy. You just go to like 3 places, right? Like
pretty much.
You have
because I'm comfortable with driving to those places. You guys don't like, yeah, Dana's race car, yeah, but Dana's not good with.
Call you racist? I said you didn't.
I didn't say race car. Race car.
Well, it's still the race. You don't drive to restaurants.
Oh crap! There's one. You're welcome, Parker.
So sensitive tonight, Dana. I feel like you're missing women in your life right now.
No.
Okay, so
it's
Dana owes
actually
$1.
Nice to be alone, just a little bit. I mean, there's been so much commotion over the last month that it is very quiet at the house. So the door's actually open to my office because nothing's happening.
Just go out to any restaurant or bar tonight. It won't be quiet if you get tired of the quiet. It's the weekend before classes start.
Hard class.
Oh my goodness. Linda, listen.
Linda, listen.
Bye, Linda. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, I have to go because Mark's about to come home from his show and he's going to be all grouchy. I have to hide the liquor now.
Please join us for the After Dark in the future, please.
I will need to because this year is going to be hell. And then I'm going to retire.
I want to pitch a teach, like all the TTC teachers.
Oh, I love that.
I love it.
That'd be so good.
It'll be cathartic.
Love you guys.
Good night, Linda.
Y'all are awesome. Love you so much. Night.
Hey, Parker, how's our good girl Winnie Foster?
She's currently being a bad girl, Winnie Foster.
Oh no, she's a bad girl, Winnie Foster.
She's every bit of a puppy.
Oh.
Oh, here she comes.
Love her.
Somebody's not giving it.
That was their dog, and then they have a bunch of cats. So there's a cat back there.
I see
Oh,
the
and
cat.
then there's Picket.
Picket.
Ow.
Oh god.
He just got up in my lap and bit me on the arm, little bird.
Picket, such a sweet boy.
Picket.
Um,
Wah.
So I told the dads last week, but there was something you forced me to watch the other week. He forced me to watch. Also, you should know that Dana is like a really big Star Wars fan. He just doesn't know much about it.
What? You see my vehicles up in my look at that.
Texas flag.
Yeah, he calls them vehicles.
They are. They're
So he
starfighters. Well, because there's a couple of starfighters, but there's also a Lambda shuttle, so you can't call them starfighters.
So he forced me to watch, which I'd never even heard of before, the Star Wars Christmas special.
The holiday special.
Sorry.
They did not have Christmas in Star Wars.
Okay.
Okay.
Life Day.
Holiday special, yes.
No, the 1978 holiday. It's available on YouTube.
It's awful.
Yep.
It
was 15 minutes of Wookiee talk for the start to kick it all off, if I remember.
right. You've seen it.
No, I've heard about it.
It's the first mention of Boba Fett, and he's in the cartoon section while the little Wookiee baby kid is watching TV.
I didn't make it that long.
Well, that's actually the Nielsen ratings for that episode. That they started out extremely high. I mean, it captivated the country.
High as in a lot of people were watching.
Okay.
Not just describing the people who wrote the show.
Well, that too, but that's separate.
And then there was an intermission, and Nielsen showed that nobody came back.
Yeah.
It was, but it's just so extraordinarily bad. It's just mesmerizing.
No, I don't think it's mesmerizing. It was awful.
No, it is mesmerizing. You got to watch it.
Mesmerizing.
So then the next day, I go to my brother's house, and he's watching Bloodsucker's Planet
Oh, yeah.
and making
That-
fun of
that was
A
worse.
family classic.
A household name is worse than the Star Wars holiday special.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
Rodney, what do you say to that?
Absolutely not. Like, it's one of my absolute top 5 movies of all time. Yeah.
Shut up. I just couldn't believe, like, when I was watching that, I love you, Adrian, but
Oh, I didn't know if you were talking about me or Star Wars. So
yes, I love you, Star Wars, but no,
It could have been called the One Star Wars Holiday Special.
that was so bad.
Yep.
But Bloodsucker's Planet, I mean, honestly, it was okay. Did you say there was a sequel?
That Bloodsucker's Planet is the
sequel.
sequel.
No, it's not the sequel. It's the prequel.
To what?
To Enchiridion. Is that what it's called, Deborah? Deborah was more in that one than I was.
Wait, were you in the second one too?
Deborah, well, I had I'm a cameo. Like, he looks
Yeah,
like
you are.
Deborah, you're in the second one?
Yeah,
Deborah,
Deborah
you're
was.
I have been looking at the cats. I haven't really been listening, so I'm sorry. What are we talking about?
The Bloodsucker Planet was the prequel, but then the first movie, you're in that one?
Deborah's in that one. She's the go-go dancer in the
the Enchiridion.
Enchiridion,
whatever it was called.
Is that on Amazon as well?
I don't know.
I get to feed a
I gotta see
pterodactyl.
this.
I feed
Yeah.
a pterodactyl.
Is that where you had the
Yeah, that
make-
Sarah
Sarah
Miller
did all the
did me
makeup?
up. Like, it was something you had to work, and I was like, you guys, I don't know what to do. Like, I need help. I put out some feelers of I need help. Sarah was like, I'm there. And she did this cool body art all over me. It was
She was dressed up like Goldie Hawn from the 60s with words painted all over her.
Oh my goodness.
She did that with makeup. She it was weird,
Like
eyeliner
eyeliner brushes,
and stuff.
yeah.
She worked wonders. It was awesome.
There's a whole photo album, I think, on Sarah Miller's
There is.
page
There
of Deborah
is.
with and that was when we were fostering Seamus before the Walters adopted him, and so, Seamus is in some of the corgis and some of the pictures with Deborah,
It's
and she has
lovely.
the Brooklyn Bridge painted across her chest.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh gosh.
How random.
That was a
We
really
had
that was a
a
fun
weird
experience.
time.
It was a weird time, but I'm glad I did it. It was cool.
Chris, you were saying what? I didn't hear
Are we
that.
getting a screening of these?
Well, Bloodsucker's Planet is available on Amazon.
Real.
If you
It's
have Amazon Prime, you can watch it right now for free.
And I'd be
Chris,
amiss if I
next
didn't
Zoomies-
plug.
Chris, our next Zoomies, it'll be that.
Oh, okay.
I
Blood.
need to plug my
Damn it.
ex coworker. Since we're talking about Amazon Prime, Alan Hackley Axe Murderers. You need to look that one up. That one's fun.
Nobody cares.
You know what? Hey, anything I can do to plug Bloodsucker Planet.
Planet.
Dana, you're
Damn it.
just drunk.
Oh my God, Kate Mitchell.
Hi. Kate.
Yeah.
Do you remember the geology lesson that I taught you in a Disney ride?
Geology. I hated stalactites, stalagmites. I still say that all the time, and people don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't explain it to them.
Well, you just pointed the wrong direction.
No, do you remember which is which?
Tights are at the top.
Tights make a T. I failed.
I always think
Stalags hold on tight. They hold on tight to the ceiling.
Stalactites make a T because they come down from the
No,
ceiling.
Those are like
I
8
said
different ways
stalactites.
to remember.
Oh, okay.
Stalagmites.
Right.
Yeah, she said it right.
Oh, okay, yeah. Stalactites,
I learned
stalagmites.
so much today.
Yeah, I have no
No.
I
The
learned so
deal
much.
is,
I always remember
Stalactite.
stalactite had a C and stalagmite had a G, and the C was for ceiling and the G was for ground.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
well,
What does either one of those things mean?
What did he say?
Because we're making it way too complicated.
Lauren!
Caves, like the
Here-
pointy
here's
things
the
and the
deal.
pointy things in the
Oh,
bottom.
okay.
They're like mineral
hang
deposits.
tightly to the ceiling. Stalagmites might make it to the ceiling.
I'm sorry. Stalactite. Stalagmite.
Yes.
I win.
Wow.
I hated geology.
And they were all made of papier-mâché.
They come off the
Papier mache. That's right.
Be drunk.
And Kate, do you remember which ride had the stalactites and stalagmites?
On for food. This isn't funny anymore. 2020 has been so hard, and the fact that you're bringing back this old joke, I can't. I just like, I'm choking. I'm done.
Why is it a joke?
Because they're.
What's
It was gone
Nolan?
for food, right?
You
Right?
might make. Okay, we're gonna make her cry. I'm not.
Nolan. Okay. So I went on my first cruise via Carnival ever.
Was
and it
Nolan
was
there?
fantastic. I know nobody cares, but I cared. So I literally was like, I need to do this like for real. So can you please tell us why you should and why you should not work on a cruise line as an entertainer?
Oh.
Why you should is it pays a ton of money and you don't have to spend any of it because you don't have to pay for rent or food or anything like that.
And Nolan.
You get to see the world and do what you love to do and meet people of all different cultures and work from people from all over. All very positive. Also, entertainers' jobs are pretty lax typically. Like I would start my night at 7 and end by 11 p.m. So I'd have the rest of the day just like go to the beach and like lay and see the ocean and then do all that good stuff. Craziness is you never get to escape. The contracts are forever and you're very disconnected from the real world and you kind of forget that life continues on in the world while you're off just floating on a steel boat. You get a little stir crazy, that's not good. But
Sorry, my cat's going
also
insane.
also it's just it can be like a little the shows can be crazy. I mean, they put you through whatever, you perform all the time and you don't have any understudies, so it's like you're on every day for 9 months.
Vocal damage.
I lost my voice for 2 weeks and had to do the show lip syncing to my own track. Like on
Hey, why did you lose your voice, Nolan?
well, I lost my voice right after these ones visited because we got wasted every single night. So, lots
Hey,
of
Lizzie.
vocal inflammation and alcohol dehydration, don't really
What was the name of the character you played in the morning kids show?
Oh, I had to do this puppet show, which I did not know when I got the job. I thought I was in the show. And then they were like, oh, you guys have to do like a puppet show And that's the other thing, as the singers typically have it a little easier and we don't have to do stuff as much, and the dancers all had to do all these extra duties. But they thought I was just so good that they gave me the role of Toots, the elephant.
Towel elephant.
The towel elephant. It was a towel elephant, and I had to spend 30 minutes like literally on my knees, ducked down with my arm up above me like this, singing like a sassy little elephant. So makes sense. They picked the gay one to play the sassy elephant, you know.
I'm sorry, that was a highlight for me. That show was amazing.
We
Well,
were
you guys
the
were all-
only adults on the stage.
Only adult.
True. Yep.
And so hungover.
Very hungover. It was so worth getting up for.
Absolutely.
No, I literally was like, dude, I could
Literally.
do this like for the rest of my life.
Pros
But-
definitely outweigh the cons, but the cons are like, I mean, big cons. It's
Yeah.
totally a different kind of living.
Did you
for
go on
sure.
a carnival cruise out of Galveston?
Yeah,
Was it on the Victory?
I
There's
don't.
25 ships. That's
I don't know. You were on the Galveston one.
The whole fleet.
I don't know. It was over a year ago, but I just know that I had waited so long to do it. I had all this built up in my mind of what it was going to be like. And I ended up rooming with my grandmother. Now, those of you that have heard stories about my grandmother,
no.
she's 89 years old, but, you know, wakes up with a screwdriver and ends her night with scotch or gin. And depending
And
on
the
whether
pizza
it's
line.
scotch or gin, that's when you know whether you should or should not speak with her. And I mean, one night we walked in, my wife and I walked in, and she was laying on the bed with her hands clasped on her chest like this. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to toss her out the balcony because I can't sleep in here if she's dead. And I said, Mimi, and she looked like her eyes are straight, and she goes, then looks, freaked me out. And I said, I thought you were dead. No, just wondering when y'all were thinking about coming back to the room. And I'm like, man, I'm out drinking and partying and the cruise.
That
Freaking-
happened to so Kate Mitchell did that same thing to us, but she
Come on this call for friendship and encouragement in troubled times, and I get just raked over the coals.
But she did get up when we put makeup on her, and she got up and ordered a room service pizza without any of us knowing until someone knocked on the door to deliver it.
Here, I don't remember doing it either. And the best part is that we could have gotten pizza for free if we just walked to the other side of the ship.
That's
but room service is not free. I don't know if I ever paid for that, Adrian. Do I owe you money for that?
Just contributed to
You
Parker's
tell-
college fund.
Yes, Parker's college.
Wait, Bunny, did you ever tell them about what you did to the room before we got there?
I think you can pay to have your room decorated for like anniversaries, birthdays. And so Kate and I were sharing a room, and then Mary and Casey were sharing a room. So I chose the option to have the room decorated for an anniversary. And so they did. And they left, there's like a chocolate cake that they served. But the writing on the cake said, "Let's cruise, celebrate."
So that became the quote for the whole trip.
Let's cruise, celebrate. Like,
Not two separate things, like with
How is it
that's just
Let's
one
cruise,
sentence.
celebrate.
Let's cruise, celebrate.
And to be fair, it was a very delicious cake.
It was a good cake. I'm pretty sure we like slowly ate it for 3 days.
Yeah, never put it on a plate. Just straight up went at it with forks. Remember when we could all do that as like a human race and like it wasn't really risky?
That was the before times.
Yeah, well, none of y'all have, Catherine and her, cheddar ruffles or whatever those chips are.
Sour cream and cheddar.
Thank you. She's like, do you want some? And hands me, like, points the bag at me. This is in My Fair Lady, like, so I don't know her. And she's been reaching her little grimy hand in there the whole time. And she's like, you want some? And I was like, no, I'm okay. I can't reach into a bag that you've been, and then reaching back. Like, I can't, it's germ. I can't, ooh, like, no, no. Well, you had kids, Dana. Like, didn't y'all share? No, those little kids, dirty. I picked nose and
I spent
no.
the last 50 plus years building up immunity to germs.
No.
Okay, wait, I have to interrupt. So at the beginning of the Zoom, we challenged Mike to name 5 ensemble members for My Fair Lady because he's notoriously bad at this. He just had to leave, but he did message me to say Haley Zabodny, John McMullen, and Riley McMahon. Okay, bye.
Was this before or after he looked it up?
So it took him like 45 minutes to figure out.
Yes, and he's also about to have dinner, so that's why he had to leave.
Of course.
Yeah.
But he did it. He did it.
Oh God.
They'll say he looked it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he pulled the playbill.
Michelle, I know it's stressful to watch, but it's so much fun.
It makes like my heart hurt a little bit.
It did for me the first time when I realized that he wasn't kidding. And now it's just a fun game. The reason we started doing that is because I think it was Adrian Raoul's episode when we all talked about our first interactions with her, and he was like, yeah, my first show with her was Mamma Mia, and I just started shaking my head, and I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it just reminds me of, like, Chris can attest, I bet Rodney can attest too, when like a former student walks up to you in like a grocery store and they're like, oh my gosh, hi. And you just have that like sheer moment of panic where you have no idea who that kid is. And you know you probably taught them, but you don't know their name or when you taught them or where you taught them. And it's like, I just want to buy these like gluten-free cookies. Like, please. That's how I feel when I see that panic in his face.
When I worked at Specs this summer, one of the other cashiers was a mom of a student that I had in class. And she was like, oh yeah, you remember Kaylin. And I was like, yeah. But he actually, it wasn't until he like came in to give his mom something and I heard him speak and I saw like even just this much of his face. I was like, oh, that kid. I was like, yeah, I remember him. Oh my God.
Chris Rogers, you could never forget me.
No, I knew the original Katie, so.
A throwback.
I would get the worst for me is whenever I work at Santa's Wonderland because I'm the train conductor, and so I get lots of people that come through, and the kids. Sometimes they're kids that I like currently have. I'm not great with names, so like, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, go on, you got your ticket," and So
you're in character. You're in character, Rodney.
I'm in character. Yes, that's my excuse. Yeah, it's not that I don't know their name. It's that I'm in character. Sure.
Nolan, what are you doing?
Got like 150 of them a year. I mean, how hard could it be?
Driving to New York tomorrow. So she needed a road trip buddy, and I was like, why not? I'll join her.
That's amazing.
I'm helping her move out of her apartment there. Well, it's sad, but it's exciting. But it's.
Do y'all have a schedule for what the trip is going to be?
Yeah, we're driving to Nashville tomorrow and staying the night in Nashville, which will be cool. I have a few friends from college that just moved back to Nashville from New York, so we're gonna stay with them. And then we're gonna drive to New York and hopefully make it through the checkpoint and not get stopped, even though we have Texas plates. So.
It'll be fine.
Oh.
Basically,
shoot up a prayer for us.
Yeah, they're stopping one in every like 6 to 8 cars at these checkpoints into the city, and if you get stopped, you're supposed to have a mandatory quarantine for 2 weeks.
Well, everybody's is mandatory for everyone,
but
they would have our address.
They'd have our address and our information to check up on us if we get stopped, and we're not planning on being there for 2 weeks, so.
And when you're in Nashville, is Casey going to get to sing at the Grand Ole Opry or anything like that?
Let's just pop over, yeah.
Can you go to Dolly World? Are you going to Dolly World? Dollyland.
Dollywood.
Dollywood, thank you.
That's in Pigeon Forge, but they just opened, we were just looking at this, they opened a Dolly Parton themed rooftop bar in Nashville. That's like all pink and frilly and lovely. And
I want to go to there.
I need it.
It looks cool.
So anyway, yeah, that's the plan. And then we're going to go move everything I own into a storage unit, and then I'll be homeless. So it's good. Not really homeless, but I'll be living in this twin bed behind me for another 4 months. So.
Oh, no. You haven't met her mom.
Okay, yes, that's true.
You've met my mom though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, I understand now.
Cool.
Glad we cleared that all up. I'm really sad that I don't get to drive up with you guys.
I'm sad too. I thought you were gonna fly down here.
I can't even leave my house again.
Oh yes, I know the reasons as to why.
Yeah.
I have heard the stories.
This year's not pulling any punches for me.
Oh gosh.
And I'm sad because I wanted to see you when we got to Newark, but now we probably can't even see you.
Well, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
I think mom is watching the
My
live.
roommate's sick.
So. Seconds delayed.
Great energy, great vibes in the house.
So we still have Chris
Lindsay
here
or somebody else?
for 6 more minutes
Somebody
on
else.
the live stream, Dad's After Dark, and then Dad's After Dark. Chris, why do you shake your head, Adrian, every time I open my mouth?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
I'm just
enough about you.
I'm redirecting my focus to you.
You want me to slap her?
You have no idea. Or maybe you do. So,
Oh, no.
you know most of these folks on here. Can you explain in a 5-minute monologue how influential TTC was to you as just personally or professionally or etc.?
I want to hear that too.
Oh, good. That's why we're all here.
Most of it just had to be getting exposure to theater and other people that liked doing and creating and performing as much as I did. Sometimes being a theater teacher is very exciting and awesome, but other times it's very draining when 80% of your students don't want to be there and don't want to be doing what you're trying to get them to do. Beth and Katie were part of that 20% that was like there and liked doing it and that made it fun and easier to do. But sometimes it was just dealing with, when people are required to be there, they don't necessarily like to do it. Like if you require somebody to read a book for English, they may not like it. They probably won't read it.
Is that because it was like an elective? Like they had to have
it was an elective, like you had to have a fine arts credit.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't just randomly take band. You're not going to randomly join choir, and art gets full. So a lot of times you would end up in theater, or like at Brian, you could take like floral design as a fine art or something like that.
You still can.
You still can.
I don't think it's a fine art though. I think it's a CTE class.
Popular.
Well, and because we tried to talk to some of the schools about doing floral designs for the shop in Little Shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Consol had weird classes too. Like you could just walk.
They're like, don't stop till you hear the bell.
But I don't know. Anyway, but getting a chance, and even most of the time, I only did stuff in the summers because I was doing stuff in school. And when we were able to do those, like the mini shows, like Rocky, or even the winter fundraiser show, finding time in order for me to spend time at the theater during the school year. One was tiring because that's a long day, but also just being able to hang out with more people that were absolutely in love with everything that they were doing. It made it seem like less work, or the work was more fun, or you were all tired and you were all giddy. So it made it work anyway.
Oh my goodness. Name your favorite memory from Spelling Bee.
My absolute favorite memory from Spelling Bee is either learning how to twirl a basketball on my finger, while we're doing this whole dance of things that Sarah said she could speak 6 languages and all these other things. Or Deborah's original Chick-fil-A monologue.
Yes!
Or
Yes, the best monologue.
I don't know that.
No,
Deborah and I had this little moment where we were off stage and we would it was for, I don't know, y'all saying, God, I have this need, and we would just look at each other and we'd say, we have this need, and we'd point to our need together. Just like small little moments like that. That whole show was so fun. Also, our lip dub. Just gonna throw
the lip dub was iconic.
Here.
Okay, so
also Katie forgot how to spell cow.
We talked about that in the show.
We talked about that in the show. Sorry.
I would have expected it.
I need to know how you spelled it.
COU.
I was under pressure.
Really,
Because she was going for like the W and her brain went to the U, so she said COU. Oh wait.
And then like the whole cast had to have a moment of like, what will we do if somebody misspells that's actually like really embarrassing? What do we do? Because they still have to keep the show going and it's a spelling bee. So they have to eliminate that person even if they weren't planning on it. So I basically helped them come up with a contingency plan. And for that, I don't regret it. I'll say it.
Okay, so Deborah's character, Logan Schwarzenegger, at some point during the show, when I think it was Olive, like had the whole issue with the cell phone. And so she takes this moment to go into, the script instructs her to go into a semi-current topic political rant that is changed based on whatever is happening at the time. And at the time, literally Chick-fil-A had just been blasted.
Like that week. Yeah, like that week.
And so this was our tech week. So y'all tell us what happened.
What's the reason like Deborah almost severed her Achilles tendon?
Yeah.
But so I wrote the monologue because Deborah's not great at improv.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to be improv in anything. I need some help here. Michelle was like, I got you,
and
girl.
so I wrote a thing about how Carl Dad and Dan Dad were fighting because that was her 2 dads, which is why she's Schwarzenegger. It's a hyphenated name. Carl Dad and Dan Dad were fighting, and it wasn't very fair, but they were fighting over Chick-fil-A, and that Carl Dad. I'm
trying to remember.
It was about like how they couldn't support Chick-fil-A because like they were
one
giving
of the
money.
dads loved eating Chick-fil-A, and the other one was upset at the dad for not eating Chick-fil-A.
And Logan really loved their educational-based kids meals that weren't gender specific, unlike the McDonald's ones. Like it was a really lovely.
It was so great.
And
it was so good.
Really the best. Because my ending line was, and in the end, I will choose abstinence. Something Dan Cathy also believed in. Ending line, the best ending line in the world.
It was brilliant.
And we'll tell the rest of the story like later in the.
Okay.
Well, that's fine because we're 2 minutes over. So we are going to shut down Dads After Dark and move to Dads After Dark. If you follow us on Facebook, you will have the link for that. Please subscribe and like on our YouTube channel because we can do more good for the theater the more people that we have watching and the more people that we have subscribing.
And thanks to Logan Schwarzenegger, we also want to promote sex education and also making your own chicken at home.
Yeah, I have a great recipe if anyone needs it.
Or getting Popeyes.
Thank you, Chris Rogers, for joining us this evening. Hope you stay over for After Dark. We love you guys. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.